Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Shorthand Typing Academy. Today I am going to dictate a legal passage from the newspaper at the speed of 100 words per minute. So be ready for it. Start. Peaked over 78 adjournments given by a Dehradun court in a cheating case hanging fire since 2014. The Supreme Court has ordered completion of the trial in 6 months. Stop. We direct the trial court to ensure that the trial is concluded not later than 6 months from the date of receipt of the copy of this order. A bench led by Justice said stop. It directed the investigating officer to ensure that witnesses were made available on the scheduled dates for being examined by the trial court. Stop. The top court also granted bail to the accused trio Manish Verma, Sanjeev Verma and Neetu Verma on conditions to be imposed by the trial court and asked them to extend full cooperation for early completion of the trial. Stop. We are required to issue this direction as we have noticed that the trial court, despite having taken cognizance almost 7 years back, has not moved in the matter even an inch thereafter, including 2 frame charges as may be necessary despite 78 adjournments in the case, the bench said, adding, if they do not cooperate, the trial court can consider cancelling their bail. Stop. Needless to observe that the order of cancellation of bail of the private respondents will not come in their way and the trial must proceed on its own merits and in accordance with law, it said in its September 15 order. Stop. The order came on an appeal filed by Dr. Atul challenging an Uttarakhand High Court order dismissing his plea seeking early disposal of the case. Stop. Krishna contended it was beyond imagination that despite the passing of more than 6 years from the date of filing of charge sheet and taking of cognizance, even the charges had not been framed till date. Stop. The FIR in question was registered in 2012 by Krishna in Meerut against the respondents for cheating, criminal breach of trust, forgery of valuable security, will and forging records at Meerut with regard to a land deal. Stop. Later, the case was transferred to Dehradun as major properties mentioned in the FIR related to Dehradun district. Stop. Para. The problem of drug abuse is an acute one and overcoming it requires efforts both at the individual and community levels. Stop. For a state like Himachal Pradesh, which according to the National Crime Records Bureau is ranked second after Punjab in the crime rate under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, de-addiction centers have a critical role to play in helping those hooked to substances kick the habit. Stop. In such a situation, the shutting down of these centers during the pandemic needs reassessment. Stop. The pandemic brought with it constraints that must have affected the functioning of these centers or forced them to perform under limitations because the priorities of the medical community and related infrastructure changed accordingly. Stop. But death or ill treatment is a serious matter and should be probed for irregularities. Stop. Shortage of staff and medicines along with the possibility of mismanagement should be investigated. Stop. De-addiction centers are required to adhere to protocols made mandatory by the competent authority and violations are not acceptable. Stop. Himachal Pradesh geography and contiguous border with Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir. Besides the illegal cultivation of banned substances and the inflow of international tourists on a large scale render the state vulnerable to drug trafficking. Stop. While setting up facilities to help people recover, it also has to be borne in mind that long-term treatment to recover from the habit is an expensive affair. Stop. Deaths at these centers due to shortage of funds as the number of patients declined is a serious charge and such negligence should not go unpunished. Stop. De-addiction centers are not money minting ventures and while their viability is important, things should not be allowed to come to such a pass that casualties occur for want of resources. Stop. Sensitizing the staff besides dealing with their inadequate numbers should be a priority despite it being a tough call. Stop.